Alongside Long Beach State's all-time strikeout leader, Aaron Jones-Wesley, I'm Sam.M.Farber, and it is a pleasure and a privilege to have you with us here today. Well, Aaron, start of the season, this did not look like a very good matchup. Davis was picked dead last preseason in the Big West Conference, Fullerton the two-time defending champs. But the Aggies pitching has been on point all year long. This should be a very competitive weekend.
Well, Aaron, a lot on the line for Long Beach, a lot they don't have control of. What they can control is wrapping up this series with a sweep over the Matadors.
Ryan Flowers, head coach of CSUN, what a resume she has from Olympic glory, national championships, and now as a head coach here at CSUN.
I cannot say enough good things about Ryan Flowers. From being a little girl, watching her play at UCLA, to being able to speak with her as a player while I was getting recruited from Long Beach, to then seeing the success she's had as a head coach at CSUN, winning Coach of the Year in 2015, being a part of the USA program as a coach, the junior national program and the women's national team, along with being just a phenomenally great, positive person. Ryan Flowers is a phenomenal coach, and there's no wonder that she's had the success that she's had at CSUN so far.
No doubt about it. The first family of CSUN athletics as well. The Flowers, her husband is the head coach of the Big West Tournament champion women's basketball team here at CSUN. A slap hit over to second, fielded by Majum, and there's one away in the bottom of the seventh. So Babbitt unable to get aboard. Brings up Jessica Alexander, and Savannah Horvath is in the on-deck circle right now for CSUN. Every at-bat from this point on could be her last, so see if there is any heroics in her final swing, anything Ted Williams-like.
Derek Jeter did it. We're talking about great, phenomenal shortstops that make a name.
Also come up with some last at-bat heroics. All you youngsters out there, first Google who Ted Williams is, and then Google what he did in his last at-bat. There's Jason Flowers, head coach of the women's basketball team. Count is 0-2. Of course, here he's just Coach Flowers' husband.
Absolutely. And that it must be funny of all of the Northridge gear that they have in their home, I'm sure.
The three kids don't want for athletic gear, that's for sure.
CSUN, CSUN, CSUN. The CSUN shirt or the CSUN shirt?
We're wearing red or black today? 1-2 pitch. That is just foul down the third base line.
CSUN going in for those extra innings at this point of really trying to either score right now or go back on defense, hold Long Beach, and keep them in a place where they're in an ability to get ahead and maybe finish their season off with a win.
Pitch in the dirt, 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Jessica Alexander. Drew a walk in the first inning, hit into a fielder's choice in the second, and struck out in the fourth. Two delivery. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Down by way of the K goes Alexander. That's going to bring up Savannah Horvath.
One person can change this game in one swing. It's Savannah Horvath, the CSUN leader in home runs and in doubles. But she's got 50 home runs in her career.
Swings and hits it to deep left center field, and it's a walk-off home run to end the career of Savannah Horvath. And look at the emotion from Horvath, the final swing of her college career.
Davis lineup today. This is not an extremely powerful offensive squad, but their pitching hasn't really required a whole lot of run support. Elise Rojas will lead things off. She's hitting .380. Ali Gomone is in the number 2 spot. She's a good base stealer with 9 swipes on the season. Riley Siegel, 198 batting average, but 3 home runs, a little bit of power there at the number 4 spot in the order. Leading things off, it'll be Elise Rojas. We are excited to have this one for you. Sam.M.Farber alongside Aaron Jones-Wesley, ready to kick off a doubleheader Saturday in the Big West Conference. First pitch bunted at, scraped by Rojas, and it's an 0-1 count.
You know, Sam, you mentioned something before about Sophie Frost not really being a super dominant pitcher in terms of having strikeouts, but really being able to have a lot of spin on the ball and really using her defense. And I think that that's something that sometimes people kind of take for granted. You know, being able to have your pitchers have the right movement, have the correct spin on them, and then still being able to have batters go for sort of miss hits. I think that that is the types of things that you want to look for in your pitcher that is going to help you in conference. And I think that that's what has made Sophie Frost be so successful throughout this season.
Ground ball up the middle, finds a hole, and it's a leadoff single for Elise Rojas. Good start for the Aggies offensively. This is a team that is second worst in the Big West in terms of runs per game, just over 3 per contest. But when you have the kind of pitching the Aggies do, you don't need a whole lot of runs most of the time.
That's true, and Brooke Yanis has done an amazing job in the circle for the Aggies. Some of her defeats only giving up 1 run, and earlier this season giving up an unearned run and still having a loss. And I think that when you have a pitcher that is that dominant, it really is up to the offense to step it up and give your pitcher the run support that they need to get those victories.
Ali Gomone in the box, showing bunt early and pulling it back. Takes ball, that takes a strike. My apologies, it's 0-1. Gomone, a freshman from Salinas up in the Bay Area, South Bay. Hitting .269 on the season, but struggling lately. So bunts this one foul. It's 0-2. Gomone 1 for her last 11 at the plate with 2 strikeouts.
Well, and if the Aggies want to score early, I think it's about getting the ball in the hole, just like how Elise Rojas did in her at-bat, because the Titans' defense has really been unstoppable this season. They're making their plays each out, taking it 1 pitch at a time. And I think that if you're the Aggies, you're just looking to put pressure on the defense as much as possible and try to manufacture a run if you can.
No score early. Top of the first. Davis with the leadoff hitter aboard. Now foul ball up the left side, so it'll remain 1-2 here to Ali Gomone. 4 freshmen in the starting lineup today for UC Davis. Both of these sides have some youth, but UC Davis really over the top in that sense. This is a very young team that's going to be together for the next 2 to 3 years for the most part.
Yeah, they have 8 freshmen, which is the most out of any team in the Big West Conference with freshmen.
1-2 pitch is just off the outside corner. Julia Valenzuela trying to frame it up there for Fullerton. Titans on the mound today with Sophie Frost, 11-5 on the season. Does give up quite a few hits. Ground ball to the left side, kicked it first by Ibarra, and no play.
And that is exactly what I was talking about earlier, about putting pressure on the defense, making things happen. Elise Rojas getting on base now puts that pressure on Ibarra at third base to kind of field that ball cleanly. She doesn't, has a little bit of a bobble. Now Gomone is now on base as well. So Aggies up, 2 runners on, no outs. It's a great place to be.
This is a Fullerton defense that has turned the most double plays in the conference, 29 on the year. Up at the play we see Isabella Leon. Part of that is opportunity because you got a pitcher like Frost who the ball's going to be put in play, so your infielders are going to have opportunities. And quite honestly, there's probably going to be someone on base quite a bit, so there's a chance to get those double plays.
Absolutely.
Leon hitting .315 on the season, Tries to drop the bunt down and advance the runners, but bunts it foul, and it is 0-2.
In softball, getting a double play is probably a little bit more difficult, though, than it is in baseball because the bases are only 60 feet apart and the game does move at such a quicker pace. So to have 29 double plays on the season, that is impressive numbers, despite being able to maybe have a little bit of an advantage getting those ground balls.
Called strike 3 on the inside half of the plate, and down by way of a backwards K goes Leone. One down here in the first, still two runners on, I should say. Here's a look at the defense for Fullerton. Ibarra, Brandon Kennedy, and Richard. Third to first on the diamond. In the outfield, Sammy Vanderveer in left, Ari Williams in center, and Brooke Clementson, the speedster, in right. Riley Siegel up at the plate, and she'll take a strike, 0-1. Siegel, pretty good power with 3 home runs on the year, but the batting average has been lacking, hitting just $198. Pitch is low, 1-1. Siegel, another freshman. She's from San Anselmo. Takes the off-speed pitch for a strike.
That was a great changeup and a great call. To come back after throwing a ball, the batter is looking for you to come straight to them with a nice hard strike, and with Frost coming back with that changeup right there after her drop curve and drop, that was great.
This pitch misses outside. Count is now 2-2. Rojas, the runner at second. She singled up the middle. Domine grounded the ball to third. But an error in the field by the Titans. Had 2 on with no one out. Davis unable to advance the runners thus far. 2-2. And the off-speed pitch fools her. Strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Sophie Frost.
Third baseman, number 21. Ashley Lodazinski.
I'll bring up Lodazinski. So Frost, not known as a strikeout pitcher, and don't making me look foolish for pointing that out in the pregame.
She's got 2 already. She said, "I'll show you."
Sophomore from Mill Creek, Washington, dials up a fastball and gets the call for strike 1. Lodazinski, a rarity on the Davis lineup. She's a senior from Pleasanton.
The only senior in the lineup for this game.
Pitch missed outside, 1-1. Lodazinski, .216 average overall on the season, but in conference it has really been a grind. She is just 4 for 33 at the plate. The 1-1. Off-speed pitch, and it's strike.
And that's something that Coach Ford spoke to us about earlier this week, is Sophie Frost not being afraid to mix up her speeds, going with her drop curve, then coming back with her changeup. And I think that we've already seen so far that's been really successful today, keeping these hitters off balance.
1-2 comebacker. Frost has it, tosses to first, and despite the top 2 hitters in the order getting on, Frost weaves her way out of it. We're scoreless after half an inning. Titans to the plate when we come back.